So the Belfast rap trio Kneecap are being investigated by counter-terror police, and there are calls from figures in the UK government to have them pulled from Glastonbury. This is in response to a number of comments that have been essentially footage coming out of their gigs where they've said things like "Up Hamas, up Hezbollah, the only good Tory is a dead Tory," and "Kill your local MP." Tom, I mean, obviously these are not big or clever statements, but it does seem to me that we get into this trap in the UK in particular, where if someone says something vaguely distasteful or irritating, then the immediate response is that the police must get involved, or their livelihoods must be destroyed. What have you made of this row?
I think at this point, everyone just needs to suspend anything that they feel about this odious, quite embarrassing rap trio, and just recognise what is going on here. You've got the counter-terror police investigating rappers for being offensive. You've got the Labour government demanding, in the form of Dan Jarvis, that they be purged from the Glastonbury Festival lineup. This has clearly gone too far now. Like, this is not purely about remonstrating with a few idiots saying repulsive things purposefully. This is now really breached into a serious free speech story, which if anyone wants to be consistent on this, needs to be very clear that we can't accept something like this happening. It should go without saying that Kneecap are loathsome in so many respects. They're also just incredibly cringe. That's one of the reasons why I find this clampdown kind of particularly irksome, is the fact that it plays to their grift, it plays to their shtick. These are three Belfast rappers, kind of theatre kids, really, cosplaying as sort of edgy hoods for the titillation of the English middle classes. It's a shtick. It's embarrassing. And I think handing them the kind of, again, the kind of edgy status that they so clearly crave is we're onto a loser. Now, of course, the law is the law. We do have laws in this country which are against glorifying terrorist groups like Hamas and Hezbollah. There have been people who have been locked up in this country for far less than praising Islamo-fascist jihadists and calling for MPs to be killed. At the same time, I think the answer to two-tier speech policing is not to say we should enforce the speech codes more evenly, that we should double down on the bad laws that we currently have. No one is buying it, really, when Kneecap put out their statement earlier this week saying, we've never supported Hamas or Hezbollah, even though they've said up Hamas and up Hezbollah, and even posed with Hassan Nasrallah's writings.
And there was a chant
off stage.
Yeah, and there was a chant at one of their gigs that was like, ooh, Hezbollah.
Yeah. No one's really buying it. But at the same time, they do make a point, which is to say these are things of performance.
Yeah.
I mean, are we suggesting that the counter-terror police should take an interest in plays in which people are, taking on the character of a kind of Islamist apologist? Creative freedom is a significant thing, and also just freedom of speech fundamentally. Whilst, yes, these are comments which are far more outrageous and purposely so than a lot of the speech policing discussions we might have, it doesn't change the fact that unless you're talking about incitement, direct incitement, which has to be very tightly defined in my view, then this is a matter of opinion, and it's something that should be met with mockery and criticism rather than the counter-terror police.
Yeah, I mean, the idea that these three guys, I mean, I'm pretty sure the one that wears like a little tea cozy balaclava thing.
It's much more tea cozy than balaclava, is it? I don't think that was what he was going for.
He's a school teacher. These are not like, or ex-school teacher, I should say. They earn enough money now. But, these are not dangerous people. The people at their gigs are not dangerous people. This is a posh Guardianista crowd being titillated by this kind of revolutionary cosplaying. And that's all it is. It is cosplaying.
Yeah.
And
sort of girls from Cheltenham Ladies College trying to get back at daddy by singing Up the Rah or something. That's basically what you're dealing with here. The idea that these like Gen Z vegans who are going to these shows, who've probably never thrown a punch in their lives, are actually a potential terror threat and will be incited into acts of violence. It's just obviously not the case.
Yeah.
And let's not indulge that, and let's not throw out free speech in the process.